Subscribe the Chanel. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by green fields and tall mountains, there lived two brothers, Samuel and Daniel. They had inherited a piece of land from their father. The land was wide and fertile, and both brothers worked hard on it. At first, they worked side by side, helping each other every day. But as years passed, life became difficult. Misunderstandings grew, and slowly, love turned into silence, and silence into bitterness. One morning, a small disagreement over dividing the crops led to a heated argument. Samuel shouted, "From now on, you stay on your side, and I will stay on mine." Daniel replied with anger, "Fine, I do not want to see your face anymore." From that day, a wall of anger stood between them. They stopped speaking, they stopped sharing, and they stopped remembering that once they were best friends as well as brothers. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The villagers felt sad seeing the brothers live like strangers. Yet, no one could convince them to forgive each other. One day, a carpenter passed through the village looking for work. He knocked on Samuel's door and asked, "Do you have any job for me?" Samuel thought for a moment and said, "Yes. My brother lives on the other side of this stream. Build me a tall wooden fence so I will never have to look at him again." The carpenter nodded quietly and began his work. For 2 days, the carpenter worked from sunrise to sunset. Samuel imagined a tall fence rising higher and higher, hiding his brother forever. But when the carpenter finally finished, Samuel was shocked. There was no fence. Instead, there was a strong wooden bridge connecting both sides of the stream. Before Samuel could react, Daniel came running across the bridge. With tears in his eyes, he said, "Brother, after all my harsh words, you still built this bridge for me. I am so sorry. Can we start again?" Samuel's heart softened. He dropped his anger and embraced his brother. For the first time in years, the two men held each other tightly, realizing that nothing was more important than family. The carpenter quietly picked up his tools to leave. Samuel called after him, "Stay. I have more work for you." But the carpenter smiled and said, "No, I must go. I have many more bridges to build." And with that, he walked away. From that day on, the two brothers worked together once more. The bridge remained as a reminder. Anger builds walls, but love builds bridges. Moral of the story: anger divides people, but forgiveness unites them. Whenever we choose peace over pride, we build bridges that last forever. Thanks for watching.